Hey, how's it going, guys? Oh, it's a nice night tonight. I'm gonna drop my son off at home. Spent the weekend with me, which was good. Yeah, just stuff on my mind lately. You know, I had to explain to him that I can get a call at any time because I'm starting wildland firefighting this season. It's gonna be fun. And then he told me that he missed coming over to the house, and you see, I didn't have that as a child. I didn't have any of that. I didn't have a father figure until I was about 10, and started smoking. But before that, I grew up in a rough neighborhood in Seattle, that area. Been around drugs, gang members, alcohol. I remember going to a house one time with my mom's boyfriend or whatever he was, to a house with the sink was full of bleach to dump drugs in, so they can dump drugs in case if the house got raided. So you know, that kind of stuff. And then being adopted at 10 into a military family, total opposite. You know, I remember getting adopted. After adopted, I went to the closet. My dad come out. My dad opened up the closet, pulled me out, said, "What's wrong?" And I didn't know what to say. That was my first interaction with a man, you know, a father figure. And he told me, he said, "This is what we expect in this household from this point on. We're going to have fun, a lot of fun. And if you like it, you can stay. If not, there's the door." That was a reality check for me. Because before, I just did what I did. I didn't care. I didn't care about the consequences. So, you know, so growing up, after being adopted, growing up, and was interesting. Because there was a lot of trials and errors, but he was a stern man. You know, taught me life lessons, taught me how to sharpen axes with files, you know, that stuff, camp, you know. And then after high school, I left into the real world and, well, started drinking, partying, you know. Started working in kitchens as a cook, did that for 15 years. Hung out in the bar scene, drunk a lot, woke up in places I didn't know where I was at. And then, 2016, didn't want to pay rent anymore, decided to become a full-fledged alcoholic. But, you know, I drank for 15 years, so I said I can do it myself, but I didn't, you know. But this video is not about, you know, AA or anything. It's just about not giving up. Don't give up, you know. So I was homeless for 5 years. Drank, picked up cans for money, ate out of trash cans. You know, this is the reality of it, guys. You know, fentanyl going around, that's BS. But it's reality. We have to deal with it. So, but, you know, so one day I woke up at a church where I currently live, and I was with an old buddy of mine. He says, you wanna walk to a place I know can help us?" I said, "Heck yeah, I'm ready, dude." You know, after being homeless for 5 years, be ready. I was. I said, "Heck yeah." So we walked 150 miles to get where we were going, to get help. Well, the place he was thinking was closed down permanently, but there was another place. I walked in that place, explained to them what my situation was, and they accepted me. And I appreciate that, guys, with all my heart. So I did the program for 10 months, worked at a restaurant, because, you know, that was my thing. Saved up money, and then COVID hit, and then I was done with treatment, and then I came back to where I originally was located, where I messed up, burned bridges, and, you know, slept in every park. Came back here, got with my son's mom, got back with her, had all this money, got her an apartment, went, you know, I was living on unemployment at the time because that's, you know, everything was closed down, so you got unemployment and the bonus and all that good stuff. I did that for about 3 months. I got bored because, you know, I mean, I'm an alcoholic. So I went into the staffing agency, explained my situation. I said, I'll do anything I can. Anything. I just need a job. They said, okay, you go work at this cabinet company. I did that for 2 years. But the point is, never give up. Never give up. I know it's hard to fathom that when you're in that situation. I know I was. When I was in that situation, homeless situation, they said never give up. I'm like, how do you know? I mean, fuck, it's hard. They said, yeah, we know it's hard, but I just didn't know how to till I just walked in that building and said, look, this is what's going on. You know, I had heard one guy say, you work so hard at your addiction. Why don't you work hard at getting a job and your sobriety, and if you have children, your relationship with your friends, your family. So that really resonated with me, you know, because this past weekend I had fun, you know, this weekend I had fun with my kid, played in the park, all that. So, you know, just work hard, and it'll come to you eventually. You know, the other morning I woke up, I was thinking about this also. The other morning I woke up around 3 o'clock in the morning. I know I couldn't sleep. So I made a pot of coffee, got my shoes on, went out, smoked a cigarette. Came back in, coffee was done, poured some coffee, turned on the news, flipped through Facebook, and I saw this post from this gal. They were married for 23 years, Christians. And she asked, do addicts ever recover? That's all she asked. And I saw all these comments, and I posted, and I commented on it. I said, they do recover, but you got to take certain steps to get to that recovery. Everything you do in your new life, you got to surround by recovery. Your activities, friends, family, spouse, whatever. Because I guess her husband, she was getting a divorce or whatever, I'm not sure, but her husband was an addict 23 years ago or in the middle of their marriage. I'm not sure. But turns out all these positive comments were helping, and so he got help, and they're back together. Never give up, right? So there's people walking by, guys. You know, just never give up. You know, like, I remember one time my dad, he had this differential in the backyard of a old pickup truck he had, just sitting there, and he says, Mike, I want you to carry that down that hill, bury a hole that will cover it lengthways and widthways. I want it 3 feet deep. And he taught me how to read a tape measure. At that time, that's how he taught me how to read tape measure. And he told me, he says, I want you to bury it, dig back up, carry it back up the hill, bury it again, do that 3 times. It's a lesson, because I wasn't listening. You know, you get people out here trying to help you, and I don't know if you're not listening or you don't want the help. I know I didn't listen. I had to want it. You gotta want it, guys. It's a free gift. It's what it is. It's a free gift. So, I relapsed a year and 9 months ago. I relapsed. I was carrying the burden of working 60 hours a week and not doing the steps that needed to be taken. So I did a week bender in a hotel room, didn't eat, had money from a 401k, took all that out. Then after a week I had enough of it, so I called up the place that helped me the first time, and they said, of course, Mike, you can come back. So I came back, got a job in the program up there, and stuck with it, got a couple jobs so I can support myself and then get the job that I really wanted. Got that job and then saved up money and got a place. Stayed up there for about a year and a half. And on the weekends, coming and going 150 miles, it wasn't working. You know, because along the ways in sobriety, you're going to hurt some people's feelings. That's just part of it. You know, we're not perfect. No one's perfect. So, did that for a year and a half, back and forth, picking up my son to come back to my house, and I finally just said, you know, this ain't working. You know, it's about never giving up on your children. You know, so I moved back to the town where I messed up in. I live here. I'm a citizen now, you know, in this crazy society. So now I just pick him up, you know, he lives a few miles away now, not 150 miles, which is good. So, all right, guys, I just want to leave that with you. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Well, hopefully I'll be back soon. Bye.